I never thought about starting a band. I just wanted to start making music.
You kind of feel that the instrument has a soul of its own and you want to be able to mold it and get to know it. So vast,
Yeah.
the Finnish mythology, and I think that's the great thing about it. We can have like endless source of material for our music and inspiration.
Sometimes I hear music in my head and I feel like this is how I want to make a song, and sometimes I just start to play and it just comes. People need to find peace, and they realize that they can find peace from that world, from the roots.
Yeah. They wanted to find something else, something deeper and something ancient that belongs to them, no matter what culture or country you're from.
Hello, today we are talking to the band NOIDUIN from Finland. First thing first, I would like to ask you how you started the band.
I started it by myself. I never thought about starting a band. I just wanted to start making music. And somewhere along I met Henry, and I felt like Henry's voice was a perfect match for NOIDUIN's music, so
Yeah.
that's how it started.
Yeah, and then again I had like a similar project by myself called Myrrys, but it hasn't done much since I joined with NOIDUIN, but maybe someday I'll continue that as well. But we both were making these kind of instruments and be really into this like Nordic folk music and dark folk in general, and later on we figured that we want to have like bass in our show, so that's when we came up with this one string like monochord bass, which is not particularly historically accurate instrument in Finland. At least there is like, we took influences from like
the Mongolian morinkoor.
yeah, and stuff like that. So, but I think the main focus in this kind of music for us and many other bands is that what people could have done like in the Iron Age, not what they did, that you can prove that they has these and these instruments, but to keep it so simple that people could have been making this kind of instruments.
Theoretically, it's possible.
Yeah. So how, guys, you started to like Finnish mythology?
Yeah.
How did it all started in your lives, even before music?
Well, it's kind of hard to say how and when. It's just, I think it just comes naturally. For me, it came like when I was a child. I was really interested in all kinds of mythologies, and then listening to Finnish bands, my interest grew.
I grew up with like this Norwegian black metal, and there are bands that take influences from like Nordic mythology, but then again I wanted at some point to do a bit like the same thing. I have like played in black metal bands, but then I wanted to do like Finnish mythology, and that's when I came more interested in Finnish mythology and started to collect all these books and knowledge about it, and yeah, it just comes naturally. In many Finnish people are first like they don't really think about their own mythology, but then they see bands like, whether it be metal band or Vatrun or Heilung or anything, that hey, we have this own thing also, like our mythology, and would it be cool to do something from that point of view?
It's interesting actually, because Nutland said like the same thing. Because they started to do like Viking stuff, and then the label came to them and said like, oh, but you have like Siberian shamanism. Why not to do something with that? So they did. Could you like tell a little bit the Finnish mythology, like as much as you like?
First off, that it's much more than just Kalevala, because many times people think that Finnish mythology is just like you have this Finnish Bible called Kalevala. It's not like that. It's just like our epic. It's a bit like Edda is for Nordic mythology. Kalevala is a bit like that, but I think the more common, like everyday mythology was that we have like so many spirits in our mythology, and you have to kind of please them and give offerings here and there, and basically everything has a soul or being on its own, and there are just so many traditions that are still kept alive, but people don't even think that they are like coming from this pagan past of ours. Like there are many things, for example, in sauna or midsummer or Christmas and whatnot. So it's so hard to explain what the general idea is, because it's so vast, the Finnish mythology. And I think that's the great thing about it. We can have like endless source of material for our music and inspiration, because it's not just certain things you can sing, but we have like just millions of things we can make music about.
Is there any books that somebody can read about that?
I think in English, not so much. But in Finnish, there are many spell books. And then mythologica Fennica.
Yeah, but it's in Finnish and Swedish.
Yeah.
What was the book that's translated in English?
Ancient spell.
Ancient Spells of the Finns, or something like that. Yeah, that's a good one, because luckily, in Finland we didn't start to write until the Middle Ages, but the knowledge was passed on through stories from generation to generation, and it was kept pretty intact even though Finland came into Christianity. So people could still gather those stories in the like 15th, 16th century, and there are like many spell poems that could be traced, I guess, to Iron Age or even further.
And they were still used like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Like the pagan ways died really hard, even though Christianity tried to push its own way, but Finns were really stubborn.
Yeah, the pagan ways didn't never die, like truly in Finland. And in Baltics, I think it's the same, that they have really good amount of traditions kept still to this day.
Is it like mostly in villages, or is it like doesn't matter where people live?
Well, I think the traditions were mostly kept in the like Karelia region. That's where the Kalevala was gathered. But there are still a lot of spells even from all around Finland.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you know, like, I'm just curious about the spirits that are you're telling about. Is it like animism? So like everything has a soul. Yeah, but like, are there any more spirits that resemble like demons or angels or?
Yeah. There are a whole lot of different kind of some are, but it's not like good or evil as in the Bible or Christianity. There are some beings that are a bit tricky. I don't know how to say, but they are like basically like house gnomes that are good spirits, or it's hard to translate. Haltia, like elf, is something that can inhabit like a forest or a lake or pond or anything.
Yeah, but I've thought about it in a way that no, none of them is like good or evil.
Yeah.
It depends on like how you treat it.
Yeah.
Like if you're good to it, it's good to you. If you're bad to it, then it's bad to you.
Yeah, and they have personalities like humans or animals, and and whatnot.
Yeah, because I know that in Iceland they have those elves they're extremely serious about having some particular attitude to those sacred places, to sacred hills or whatever. Is it like any rules in Finland how you should behave? Like, let's say if I go to nature.
Yeah, there are. I remember even when I was a child, my parents know basically nothing about our mythology, but they used to. I think it's common to scare little kids that don't go to water because näkki will get you. Näkki is actually same in Nordic mythology, näken or whatever it's called, but basically don't go to the water or näkki will get you and drown you. And there are like certain things you can't do in sauna, like curse or be too loud or stuff like that.
About NOIDUIN, can you first tell how you approach the songwriting? So, because I guess it's not typical rock music when you have some kind of structure that is refined by many bands. But how do you manage to compose the entire piece?
I think it just kind of depends on my mood and how I feel, how the song should go. But I try to avoid this kind of chorus.
Yeah, patterns like song structures.
Yeah, because I don't feel like it belongs there.
Yeah.
So I want it to sort of move freely, like flow nicely. And sometimes I hear music in my head and I feel like this is how I want to make a song, and sometimes I just start to play and it just comes. And then I start to hear layers, like vocals should go this way and backing vocals should go this way, and it just flows.
Did you produce yourself the record?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it sounds pretty solid and kind of integral. So nothing like wrong about it and nothing amateur, I would say. Just wonder, like, did you had any formal education in music, or is it like just intuition what you use?
Yeah, it's intuition. I like doing stuff and learning stuff, so I thought that maybe I can learn recording and mixing, and so I did.
Yeah, it's usually how many people do that. I know many folk musicians, they try to learn the sound producing so they can be true to their ideas.
Yeah.
And like your stage costumes, can you tell about them? How you come up with them? Do they mean something?
Yes and no. They mean something and they don't mean anything. Like I want us to have dark colors because I feel like we walk a lot in the underworld, even though black hasn't been really used.
Yeah, it's been really uncommon color because it's so expensive back in the day to have it. So it was more of more wealthier people wear black clothes.
Yeah.
So maybe not the shamans or seers or people like that, but yeah, we take inspiration from like some of the burial founds that has been found, like what seers and shamans could have, but then again we mix them up with what is dear to us, like some animal decorations, like animal skins or bones or whatnot, and then again we have like this basic structure of the ancient, like this tunic, shirt and pants and the wraps and stuff like that, but it's not like kansallispuku or national like
costume.
it's not like that, but we take inspiration from many things.
Is it like reconstruction, or it's more like artistic?
Artistic, definitely. Yeah.
And you mentioned seers and shamans, like I know many people in the communities are kind of very invested in this topic. And can you tell like how it is in Finnish mythology and Finnish history? What are, like, if we compare it to those German shamans or the Siberian shamans, what are they? What kind of people were in Finland?
I think the Finnish shaman or seers, like lots of similarities with the Siberian ones, like very much in common with the knowledge and spells and rituals, stuff like that.
Yeah, but they were like different kind of seers and shamans that they used to concentrate on different things. That some were more into like herbs and mixing medicine, and some were more into this poetic like healing words, and some were into this trance state and get the knowledge from the underworld, and there were different kind of seers.
Is the picture of that underworld and our world, is it like this similar? Because we know most people know that Midgard and Hell and I forgot the third one. Yeah.
Yeah, in Finnish mythology there's of course the underworld, Manala, Tuonela, Tuoni, and then there is the kind of in between state which could be more like Alinen or Lovi, but it depends on the source basically, and time period and the place you gather the information, but there could be like higher plane also. So, but in general the Finnish mythology is not so intact. Well, I guess any of the ancient religion really is, but people want to put it into a box and say this is how it goes, but it's not like that because there are just so many variables basically. But you could definitely say that there is Tuonela and our world basically.
Carnival epic, does it have any connection to those pagan beliefs? Are they connected somehow? Is like pagan beliefs, like day-to-day pagan beliefs, include some references to Kalevala, or they're completely separate?
They have things in common because in Kalevala there are like references to the gods like Ukko Yli Jumala, and of course there's Tuonela and stuff like that, and hidden Hirvi and stuff like that, but it's more vast than just the Kalevala, because in the book Chronicles Fennica, I think, yeah, there is like this knowledge about Väinämöinen being one of the boys or childs of this. I can't remember. But anyway, it's much more vast than just the Kalevala, but they are entwined basically.
I just wonder, like, currently we see that kind of revival of folk and pagan stuff is going on pretty hard, at least in Europe, also in America. Why do you think it happens right now?
Well, I think the world is so crazy right now. People need to find peace, and they realize that they can find peace from that world, from the roots.
Yeah.
So I think it has a lot to do with that.
Maybe it took time for people to kind of grow out of this Christian kind of worldview, and then many people, I think, became like atheists, but then that didn't feel like right either, so they wanted to find something else, something deeper and something ancient that belongs to them, no matter what culture or country you're from. And I think that's great, and that's the way it should be, like whether you're from whatever country, whatever your culture might be. I think it's great to have like this ancient beliefs and knowledge came back to life.
Talking about you guys, what is your relationship with paganism, if I may ask?
Well, everybody has their own opinions, but I'm agnostic, I can say that much, and I'm really interested in pagan beliefs, but I don't take them like really like that I worship like Ukko every day and do this and do that. It's not like that, but I believe in something.
Yeah, I've been atheist for a really long time, but I started to feel like I do believe in something, but it's not like I don't believe in gods or anything like that, but I do feel like there are spirits in the nature. So we are pagan.
Yeah. Pagan scumbags.
That's animism is actually an interesting thing because kind of it lets you basically to respect everything. I recently saw a video, like one of those funny videos online that Japanese people, they say thank you to the huge machines they decommission.
Yeah.
So they make like a ritual basically.
Yeah.
And this is like kind of that idea of respect and kind of just be careful, be like nice to surroundings and to people. It's like kind of it's very interesting, like how it reflects in this community that like says it's pagan community. Maybe I ask you about your music video, and to be honest, I didn't have time to watch it, which I don't put on video. But could you just tell me about each of the videos, what that video means? Like, what is your kind of commentary?
Well, the first video is for the song Uni, and it's basically a footage of Finnish forest and woods and get the like this dark atmosphere for the song, and it's a lyric video, so you can't see us in there, but I think it's great video because you get really the atmosphere of the song and the lyrics from that.
Yep. And the second video is for the song Nousen maa, which is about two villages fighting together, and then there are shamans, and you can't really see what's the outcome.
Yeah.
But
So, like, is it any symbolism or some message in the video?
Well, there's like
Context.
Easter egg, kind of. So people who knows that the other group is like could be Finnish people and other is not, like invaders, and they clash.
it's spells about our god Ukko, Yli Jumala, and about asking help from the nature and forces of nature to come aid you in battle.
And the third video, Päästä minun, is about this state in Finnish mythology. Anyone could get lost in the woods, and even a familiar wood would become like a strange alien place to you, so you can't find your way back home, and no one could see you when you're in that state. So there are spells how to get out of this metsänpeitto state, and usually you needed some kind of zero shaman to help to get someone out of there, and it's about that.
And there's also an Easter egg, because we were watching Heilung in Joensuu last year, and Kai Uwe Faust had this ritual wand on the stage, and at the end of the ritual he threw it to the audience, and it fell straight to Henry's lap.
Yeah.
So we decided to take the wand with us to the video shoot, and you can see it in the video under a bear skull.
So symbolic.
Yeah, the most sacred place, because bear was like big thing for Finnish people.
Yeah.
So, NOIDUIN music, like as a general, how you would describe it, like in keywords maybe? What is it inspired from? Is it like Iron Age music, or is it like something a bit more than that?
I would just say that the inspiration is ancient. Like, it's not Iron Age. It's Iron Age, Bronze Age, Stone Age, like all this ancient stuff.
Yeah.
And it's more about getting to the roots than being something.
Yeah, it's not like strictly this or that, so it's more what comes naturally and freely. But
Yes.
we take inspiration like from ancient times and ancient beliefs and what the music could have been if it was made back in the day, so to speak.
And speaking about sound, we know that almost everyone now uses electronic sounds, drones. So is it like good or bad thing? And what is the place of electronic contemporary stuff in folk inspired projects like yourself?
I think the artistic freedom, it allows you to do stuff and grow, and you shouldn't limit yourself and think like, "Oh, I can't use this electronic stuff," because people need to grow, artists need to grow. And
You probably have some atmosphere to convey.
yes,
And I would say, like how I see it, it's not the same as for listeners in the past. We are used to some culture. We are constantly immersed in like everything that is happening in 21st century, including the contemporary sound, and we have to align somehow.
I think if someone would do this sort of music like it was actually done somewhere in history, and then it would probably be a bit boring for modern people to listen to. Like,
And it would be interesting to do that kind of
yeah,
stuff as well. And Vartuna did this kind of album with Einar just singing with the harp,
yeah,
basically.
yeah.
It's not my favorite Vartuna album, but it's kind of cool in a way that that kind of music was probably being played back in the ancient times.
And I would say geishas, they also do it like in past centuries. It's something completely different. So I'm fascinated by how they do that. I've been to performances in Japan, and but at the same time, it's kind of boring if you don't know things and if you don't like process it and study it. Then it's pretty hard, I'd say. Why you do your own instruments? And what is the meaning of doing your own instruments yourself? Why not you outsource it to someone?
Well, I think the first question was that I don't have money to buy a real instrument, so I had to build it. And then, of course, like I have always loved to do stuff with my hands and learn, and I didn't think it would be like, it would be hard, but I could probably do it. So I just decided to try. And you kind of get hooked to that feeling when you build an instrument. And
I think one reason for this, that you can't get the same feeling about instrument someone else has built, because you kind of feel that the instrument has a soul of its own, and you want to be able to mold it and get to know it when you're doing the instrument, and then it can sing to you in a whole new level in a way.
Is it hard to make like a nice sounding instrument that Yohko?
Yeah, it is, and we are not experts, but I think we have made decent enough instruments. There are some things that come inside of the yohikko that are like pain in the ass to make, and the strings, because they are horsehair strings, and you have to separately pick one to have like 50 enough long strings to make one string, and it's just pain in the ass.
How long does it take to make the instrument?
For me, weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you like work long hours, you could probably make one in like 3 days if you have nothing else to do. But then again, that's what we usually do, because we get so like obsessed of making something
Yeah.
that you can think of anything else than just do it.
Yeah, I think we are the sort of kind of persons that we always need to have some new project to do. And, you know, if we don't have anything, we get bored and
Yeah.
get kind of frustrated and
It's hard just to,
play around.
yeah, just do nothing. Like, we like to play like video games occasionally, but at some point, if we play like a few hours, then I get like, I have to do something real that I like to play, but I just can't like do it for a long period of time at the time. So
We know that Heilung and some other bands, they like claim that people tell them how the music influenced them, how they probably got healed because of the music. Did you heard any such stories about NOIDUIN?
Yeah, people always like drop a lot of comments in Instagram, and it's really, really lovely to hear how people feel about our music and how they tell how it affects them so deeply. It's amazing.
yeah.
All right, maybe just to close the interview, can you just look and in the camera and say some final words, some summary about your music and basic message to the listener?
Thank you for watching, and thanks for having interest in our band. And if you're not familiar with us, please check us out and keep the pagan ways alive.
All right, thank you so much.
Siinä on voimat voittavammat, iskettuuta ilmarinen välähdys.